Wait, have you ever wondered why it seems like nothing is working out for you despite all the effort you put into whatever it is? Even though work towards this thing day and night, somehow it just seems like this thing is not clicking for you. Then suddenly you find that you start thinking like, okay, I should give up on this idea, thinking that giving up is the solution to that your supposed problem. Yes, this is the same for many of us, and even myself included. I found myself in this situation several times. Many a time I find that I have so many ideas in my head. I want to do this, I want to do that, but the same me, I found myself, convincing myself out of these situations because I find it easier to give up on them. With the thought that, somebody else might be doing this thing already, or I think to myself, it will be hard for me to accomplish it, or whatever excuse my mind helps me to cook up, I try to go for it. This is the case for many of us, and even you that is watching this video, I know you must have found yourself in one way or the other in this situation I'm just describing. But after constantly worrying about this thing, thinking about the amount of ideas, dreams and aspirations I've had to throw out through the window, at one point I came across a Japanese philosophy which I then dug into deep research about. After reading so much about it, I gradually started adopting like what this philosophy was talking about. Little by little, I noticed that there was changes in the way I was able to overcome this problem, even though it's not completely like solved right now, but at least going through it one after the other. So I noticed that there was, or it has been helping me to overcome this problem of having to give up on things. So you might be thinking like, what is so special about this Japanese philosophy I'm talking about right now? Yes, if you've been in this world long enough, you would know that the Japanese people have some of the oldest people in the world, or all these people living hale and healthy even in their old age, even though this is not like good for their country because now their population is declining, and since the country is dying away due to this aging population, we can't help but wonder how these people, they did it despite all the things that goes on in this world. They still have the oldest population, these people all living healthy. What did they do differently from the rest of the world? I find myself thinking. I found like this is all thanks to like the philosophies that the Japanese people have lived by for hundreds of years. After reading so much about these philosophies, I found out that even back to like World War II, when they had to adopt one particular one which is called the Kaizen, and this was adopted to help the country come back to its feet after the World War II. Like so many things were destroyed. This philosophy is even also called like the Toyota way, because the company Toyota credits their success to the adoption of this philosophy in every aspect of their process. Everybody knows about Toyota, right? This philosophy over time can still be seen in the way it shaped the way of life of a typical Japanese person, and this in turn now gets them the benefits that they enjoy today. For example, now like being the country who for 3 consecutive years were allowed to travel to 190 countries around the world without a visa. Not only till Singapore took over from them this year, dropping them to 3rd place, but that is still like quite an achievement. For 3 consecutive years, these people had this privilege. That's such a feat, but having such benefit will tell you how a typical Japanese person has lived their life. So as I look through like these philosophies, or at least the 9 major ones amongst other ones, I found like traces of my own life's morals and values that I naturally just adopted over time, unknown to me that these were even of Japanese descent. But one of them that stood out to me, like I said earlier, is the Kaizen. This means like to continuously improve on something. Kaizen is a concept which helps you instill desirable habits, improve efficiency, functionality in our personal lives, and it basically means like applying continuous improvement by gradually making small changes for the better while embracing and enjoying the process. I love the definition of this stuff so much. So I just started thinking of how I've gradually been applying this in my life since after school, through to my adult days now in the pursuit of my career, and now with my YouTube channel, trying every day to improve 1 or 2 things after doing research of what makes a good YouTube video, or what steps can I take to bring me towards my career. And in every aspect of my life I found myself like trying to apply Kaizen. So now you might be thinking like I've talked about what this Kaizen means and all it has done for me, but now how can you like apply the model of this Kaizen into your life as well. Let's take for example now, you want career growth for yourself, let's say in your workplace or in whatever field you are in. Knowing the limitations you must have faced over time trying to achieve these dreams, it will be wise for you to start applying Kaizen like I did, and this should get you started on the right path to achieving these dreams for yourself. So I'll outline like 3 easy to follow and actionable steps that you can use to help you get started to applying this Kaizen in your life. So first, you have to even identify what you want to be. Like, what is that dream? Like, no matter how small it is, be specific about it. Like, know what this dream is. Like, what do you want to do? Then secondly, you now have to measure, like, is this dream or this goal of yours, is this something that is achievable? Is this something that you can track to know, like how far you've come in achieving it? And then after knowing this, you now start getting there by making conscious efforts like to help you pull closer to this your dream. Like for example, taking courses, trainings, networking, and all the actions needed for this your chosen area. Then thirdly, now you have to continuously improve, like Kaizen has talked about. Improve yourself one day at a time, by making small changes to allow you to be found worthy of this position you dream to be. If it even means having to dress a particular way, make that decision and start dressing that particular way. If it is something that will trick your brain into pulling you closer to that your dream. Now let's say you start doing this, just imagine it. You will find that the growth you've been finding hard to achieve will now seem like it's easier for you to achieve them all of a sudden, because you've now started improving yourself one day at a time. You now be more confident in these your dreams. You can now even dream bigger. I know this because it did it for me, or applying Kaizen in my life did it for me, and I think of how I can still apply it in my day-to-day in whatever I'm doing, no matter how small it is. I try to apply Kaizen because I know the benefits of using this method of living is huge on the long run. So I would love to hear from you. Like, did you hear of the word Kaizen from this video, or have you heard of it before? Or even have you heard of any Japanese philosophy before now? If yes or no, I would love to hear from you in the comment section. Like, how do you plan to start applying the concept of Kaizen in your life? Are you going to be using the steps I've outlined? I hope this video has given you some sort of mindset shift. If you found it helpful, I would love for you to consider clicking that like button, subscribing to the channel for more. And you can also check out my other video where I share my insecurity with you. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.